But I want to go ahead and get started so we can get into the fun and welcome everybody to the Heritage School of Wizardry virtual edition. If any of you had a chance to come here in person in the last few years, we were able to have some open houses to bring people into the Heritage School of Wizardry here in Springfield. We had a lot of fun. We had some visiting professors from another famous wizarding school across the pond, Hogwarts, and we were very happy to have them. Unfortunately, this year we weren't able to have everybody here in person, but we thought over the last couple of years, everybody's probably gotten pretty used to Zoom, which was a magical invention that the wizarding world was generous enough to share with the Muggle world so that all of us could have this new way of communication. So we thought that people would be a little more used to that so that maybe we could get together this way until we can get together again in person. So thank you guys for joining us. And there'll be I'll share my screen some tonight, but we'll be switching back and forth to see some of our special guests and to let you guys be spotlighted. So right now I'm going to switch and share my screen so you guys can see. So this is our virtual Heritage School of Wizardry. Can everybody see the screen okay?
Yes.
Yeah. So thank you. So we've gotten used to doing a lot of virtual programs like this. We'll talk a little bit more to people from another wizarding school to tell us about how they've been dealing with the last year. But we record all of our virtual classes like this. So welcome to our magical Zoom experience. This program is being recorded and it will be available later for people to catch up with all the fun that we had. I say that everybody's automatically muted, but we haven't done that today. But there may be a point when we come to trivia that you may want to mute yourself if you guys don't want to give away the answers to other people. But if you'd like, if at any point you are muted and want to talk, you can unmute by clicking the microphone button, which is on the bottom of your screen or on your phone around in the same area, or you can take your wand and point it to your throat and say Zoomulus. You can also use the chat function. I ask that when we get to trivia that you don't put answers in the chat. So I'm going to give you a little, this is before we get started on that, if you need to run and grab some paper or something to write with, later we'll ask you to write down your answers for some of the games and trivia that we're doing. So you'll want to make sure that you have that handy. So if you need to get that, you've got a little bit more time before we get into that. But in the chat function, if you have anything that you want to say or share, you can go ahead and put that in the chat, and our prefects will help us keep an eye on all of that. I am Natalie. I am a prefect at the Heritage School of Wizardry. If I were to go to Hogwarts, I would be a Ravenclaw. But we have an equivalent sort of house that has some of the same qualities here at the Heritage School. I would be in the House Bookwalter, which was founded by Clementine Bookwalter. So I'm a proud member of either house. So I mentioned before about changing your name. I know right now you can only see a few people on the screen, but when we go back to seeing everybody, we'll be able to see your name. So you can change it to your name plus your Hogwarts house if you have one. If you're on your computer, the way you do that is you look at the 3 dots by your name, by your picture, and you right click on that and it will give you the option to rename. If you wish to do that. If you're on the mobile device, if you click on the participant list at the bottom of your screen, it'll bring up everybody who's on the call. If you tap by your name, it'll let you rename yourself. If you're not able to rename yourself, not a big deal. But that's an option that you guys can do if you like. But we wanted to start off with a warm welcome from some special guests that we have from another grand wizarding school. We have Professors Trelawney and Dumbledore with us tonight, I believe. If they're able to hear us.
We can hear them. I wonder if they can hear us, Albus.
Yeah, just we can hear you. Try Zoomulus.
I hope they can see us. That is that Weasley boy. He put in this technology and we cannot follow it. Let me try a spell. Aurelius.
Oh,
No,
nothing.
That Heritage Center wizard. We must be between a Chirac and a hard place. Let me try another one. computerless, antivirus.
Oh.
Pointing indeed.
Once more. Albus, see if you do it.
Zoomulus. Oh,
can you hear us?
now?
Natalie, is that good?
We hear you.
Oh, wonderful. Well, welcome to Hogwarts, and we're in the library this evening, and so glad that you could join us. I'm Professor Sybil Trelawney, Professor of Divination at Hogwarts.
And I am Albus Dumbledore. It is good to make your acquaintance. All of you that are with us tonight, it's been such a long 18 months. We've all been apart, have we not, Sybil?
Oh, yes. It's so good to be back at Hogwarts once again.
So good. All of you have been out on your own, having to educate yourself. Many of you, I bet, have been living with muggles. Oh, but it is good to see you so once again. It's almost like no one knew this was even going to occur. There was no augury, no prediction that we would have this. Wait, Sybil, did you have a prognostication did you see that foretell that this would happen?
Professor Dumbledore, now that you bring it up, I was looking in my teacup late in 2019, and I saw a Grim, the dangerous Grim, which led me on to my crystal, and I sat before my crystal and saw many unhappy people. And then I went into a trance. And from there, in my trance, I saw people that were wearing little rectangles of cloth over their noses and mouths. Heavens!
Admittedly, some of the muggles looked better that way. Especially those with the big beards. But nonetheless, what else did you say, Sybil? It was the most difficult year educating the children. We couldn't even get all of the supplies to Hogwarts. We pretty much shut down. We tried everywhere, didn't we?
Oh, it was so difficult, Albus. We had things that would break and we couldn't replace them. And, well, our wands, Albus, they were so difficult to reobtain when they broke on us. I called Ollivanders. I tried some in different ways to reach Ollivanders to get new wands, but they would not respond to us.
There was no one who could post those to us. And then suddenly I sent out a message to Amazonius and Fiddle Expressius. And then Hedwig even came to our assistance. Did he not, Professor Trelawney?
Oh, yes, marvelous little Hedwig. He came down with our little wands within his talons and delivered them at once.
'Tis a most marvelous day it was it not?
Oh, yes. Back to casting spells once again.
Oh, that was so good. Now, some of the spells you cast upon me with your misbegotten wand, it was downright embarrassing. The day you turned me into a toad, I mean, a 5-legged, 3-horned toad with the little bitty beard and all of the hair, and that hat did not fit on its 3 horns. It was embarrassing, Professor Trelawney.
But you look so good being green and with your purple robe.
Oh, says you, Sybil. Well, it is good to be back, is it not?
Yes, but we still don't have all of our students. Well, it's been rather difficult getting education to our students.
Difficult.
So we had difficulty getting books from Pilates and Bots. We then had difficulty getting us to our students. We tried flu powder with no effect. And then the best thing we could come up with was our patronuses.
Oh, and I had the most special patronus of all. It actually rose from the ashes to present us with the new day. I, Sybil, used my phoenix. And it arrived, and the schools began to open, and we're going to bring you back into Hogwarts soon, we hope. We hope, do we not, Sybil?
Oh, yes. Well, Albus, would you like another cup of tea before
I most likely would like a cup of tea.
Oh, wait, Albus, before I pour again, let me look at your tea leaves and read them for you. Oh, Albus, how delightful. I see a radiating sun.
A radiating sun?
And Albus, that means happiness. So happiness to you.
That is the most positive sign, Sybil. Well, we had the full moon tonight. We had the sun's rays showing us that the future is bright indeed. And all of you shall leave your muggle homes and come back with us as young wizards. We so look forward to seeing you soon.
Now, in the meantime, keep up your studies.
You have all of these books. You must continue to look at your spells. Do not forget to work on your spells, children.
And in divination, please keep working on reading your tea leaves and runes. It is most important that you keep caught up.
Most important indeed. Thank you, Prefect Natalie. Thank you so much.
Good evening, students.
Good evening.
Thank you so much for joining us tonight. It's wonderful to hear from you. Hope you have a wonderful evening.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, everybody. It's great to hear from them. We're hear from some more professors tonight. Let me switch back to sharing. All right, so we wanted to share a bit of, everybody see the screen again, a look back at our Heritage School of Wizardry open house where we had our special guest wizards. You'll see Professors Trelawney and Dumbledore in here. So we have a short little video. And I hope that if you didn't get a chance to come the last couple of years, that when we are able to have it, hopefully next year or in the near future, that we'll be able to bring you back into the Heritage School in person. So we've got a short little video here. Let me make sure I'm sharing my screen. So is there anybody on here now that got to visit the Heritage School in person? You guys have anything that you liked best, that you were looking forward to seeing again here? So we make sure we have it.
I like Basilisk.
Which class?
The Basilisk.
Oh, the Basilisk. Oh yes.
I really liked eating the apple roasted and glazed crickets.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun. And we
I
have
thought it was just kind of fun doing it. I didn't really have a specific favorite thing. It was fun.
I liked the bug man.
Yes, the bug guy.
it was great. He even had he could grow and shrink his bugs with the Engorgio spell too. So that was really awesome. He was something else. And we had Trelawney was wonderful with her tea leaf readings, and Dumbledore, you ran a spell class for us one year. That was pretty wonderful. So all things that we hope that we can bring back, and we've got some more classes that we want to spotlight in the future. When we bring everybody back. So, right. Go back to sharing again. And now we're going to ask for you guys to share. I know you just shared a little bit about what you liked, but in your houses right now, we'd love to see what you guys are wearing to show your Hogwarts pride, or your house pride, or your magical world pride. Any magical things you want to share with us? Do you have your wands with you, or anything else that you want to share? I'll go back and if you guys just can, I think if you raise your hand on the screen, I'll call your name and then I'll spotlight you, so that everybody can see you well on your screen and you'll be big to everybody. So we'll start. I can see the Groth family, Gryffindor right now. I'll go ahead and spotlight you up there, and you can unmute and share with us what you've got.
Okay, so this is actually, I am actually Harry Potter, and this is the wand.
That's great. I love your robes. And what's your favorite spell? Is there one that you've practiced?
The levitation spell.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. I see, let's see, Paige and Elliot's screen. I see, okay, I see. Elliot, do you wanna go? Okay, we'll go ahead and spotlight you.
We're not ready yet.
Okay, we'll come back to you. I see Lisa. How about we'll hear from Lisa here. Spotlight you there.
Great.
All right.
Hi, I'm Lisa. I'm a Ravenclaw. I've got my robes and my wand and my cat, that I'm allowed to have a cat. So sorry I can't get up and twirl around because of the cat. But yay.
Well, thanks, Lisa.
Yeah.
All right, we've got, I see George Sloan. Let me get you spotlighted here. All right.
Okay, so I am Harry Potter, as you can see, and I have a wand I got at the Wizarding World. My favorite spell is probably Swish and Flick, and I am a really big Harry Potter fan, and I collect the Harry Potter Legos, and I like to build those, so I'm a really big fan.
Great. Thank you for sharing. Let's see. All right. Paige and Elliot, are you guys ready now? All right, let me.
Yeah, Elliot goes
spotlight
first.
you. Okay, let me wait. Let me get you spotlighted so everybody can see you. There you go.
I have a wand that I got from Universal, a Slytherin tie, and 1 second, snake.
Oh, is that Nagini? Nice. How about Paige?
Okay, so I have a chocolate frog. Stop it, Elliot.
Aw, cute little
I have a
picket.
wand. I have a wand. And then I have a spell book. And then I'm wearing just a dress thing. Yeah.
Are you a Gryffindor?
I'm kind of a Gryffindor / Ravenclaw. Don't 100% know. But yeah. And I'm, Slytherin.
All right, thanks, guys. Anybody else? Megan? All right, let me spotlight you. Oh, there you are.
So I am a Slytherin. I kind of freshly came from Quidditch practice. I have my golden snitch. And I do have a Slytherin bow as well that matches for practice. And of course, with my new members of my team, because I am captain, I am making sure they know all the proper rules and history of our wonderful game.
Very important. What position do you play?
Seeker, of course.
Of course. Well, thank you. Oh, I see Janet up there. Let me see, make it her. Let's see. Janet, are you able to start your video or unmute, or did you not mean to raise your hand? Is there, I'm not sure if I can see, is there anybody else that has a hand raised? Or here. Anybody at the Burton household there? Would you guys like to share? How about Roger? Yeah, let's spotlight Roger. You're muted though. Zoomulus, Roger. Zoomulus.
Microphone there. Okay.
There you go.
I'm not sure what's showing on the screen, but this is my wand. It's walnut, 14 inches. It's a long wand. I fashioned it myself from the walnut tree in my yard using unicorn hair. So I'm very proud of this wand, and it works wonderfully for me. So again, the wand picks the wizard, and in this case, it was right in my backyard.
Very nice. I see Laurel and Shiloh up there. Let's see, let me get. All right, you guys want to share?
Where do we share? Go ahead, Laurel.
We've got a wand, robes.
Oh, a Tri-Wizard cup.
And they got a
Very
header.
nice.
House banners, Hedwig.
Oh, hello, Hedwig.
They got my wand.
Looks like you guys have lots of decoration in your house. You guys are a split house. Looks like Laurel, you're in Hufflepuff. Shiloh, you're Ravenclaw. That's like at my house. We're all from different houses. So, thank you for sharing. Anybody else? How about Casey? Let's see. Oh wait, Sailor. Here we go. There you go.
I'm a Gryffindor, so I have my robe on. And I have a wand. This is Draco's wand. And I have my butterbeer glass. And then my little pygmy puff next to me.
Does your pygmy puff have a name?
No, it just gone by pygmy puff for like 5 years.
Very cute. Anybody else? All right. How about Claire up there with Melanie, the Ravenclaw? We're gonna.
She hasn't been sorted into a house yet. So when she comes of age, we'll see what she gets sorted into. Maybe Slytherin.
We'll have to break out our sorting hat. We have one here at the Heritage School for people to get sorted. So. Is there anybody else? Oh, Ray. Okay, let's see. Hello.
I'm coming to you from a competing house in Akron.
Is that Stan Hewitt Hall?
That's Stan Hewitt, the great room at the Stan Hewitt House.
Oh, that is a pretty great room. Not as good as our great hall. I don't think, but
we'll have some good competition for you.
Well, thanks.
But glad to join you for this.
Thank you. All right. If there's nobody else that wants to share right now, we'll move on to the next portion of our night. Get back to sharing my screen. So thank you guys for sharing. Now we're going to move on to the trivia portion. So I hope you guys have something to write with. If you're on your end, you might want to stay muted so you can discuss amongst people in your household if you'd like to. If there's, multiple people in your household, you can compete against each other if you like. But if all you need is a piece of paper and something to write with so you can write down your answers. So we're going to go through a set of questions and then we'll get to the answers after that. So I'm just going to move through this, just give a few seconds for each one to give you guys some time. So our question number 1 is, what is Ron's house called? This is a multiple choice. That A, the burrow, B, the hollow, C, the shack, or D, the hut. And some of these questions will be multiple choice. Some of these will be write out the answer. Question 2. It's not a multiple choice, it's just to see how many you can remember. The Weasleys have a lot of children. Can you name all 7 of them? Give you bonus points if you can name them in order. That's even more of a challenge. I'll give this one just a little bit of time because there's a lot of names to remember. It's a good thing they have a pretty big looking house to handle all 7 of those kids. Makes me wonder what tuition was like for Hogwarts, for them to be able to send 7 kids. Okay. All right. Question number 3. Who is not one of the Marauders? And it's got the Marauders map there that lets you see where people are at all times. So who is not one of the Marauders? Is it A, Remus Lupin, B, James Potter, C, Peter Pettigrew, or D, Lily Evans, later Potter? All right. Question number 4. What kind of dragon does Harry fight at the Triwizard Cup? Was it A, a Romanian longhorn, B, a Norwegian ridgeback, C, a Hungarian horntail, or D, a Peruvian viper tooth? We've got a picture here for reference. Question 5. How does Hagrid describe his job at Hogwarts? A, protector of magical creatures. B, keeper of keys and grounds. C, magizoologist. Or D, a dragonologist. Question number 6. What house is Cedric Diggory from? Question number 7. And I'm sorry if this is a spoiler for anyone that hasn't finished all of the books, but what are the last 3 words in Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows? This is a tough one. Could have also asked you, what do the books start with? What are the first words in the first book? I don't know if I could tell you that. Somebody probably has a book nearby. Although I don't, I should have prefaced this with don't look any of these up, but this is just for fun and just for your own trivia purposes in your house. So question 8. What day were the Weasley twins born on? Question 9. Who tells Harry he is a wizard? Is it A, Hagrid, B, Dumbledore, C, Ron, or D, McGonagall? Question 10. What is Harry's wand made of? Is it A, cherry with a dragon heartstring core, B, holly with a phoenix feather core, C, willow with unicorn hair core, or D, hawthorn with unicorn hair core? So you guys have a little bit more time to think about these. So we're gonna do something else before we get to the answers here. Because right now what we have is another very special guest from across the pond visiting us from Hogwarts to talk to you a little bit more about your care of your magical creatures. So I'm going to spotlight our Professor Rubius Hagrid here. Can you hear us, Hagrid?
You hear me?
We can hear you.
Oh, good. I brought a couple of different creatures for you here, and I don't know if some of you have read the book, Fantastic Beasts, and Where to Find Them. Have any of you read this book?
It's a good book.
It's a pretty good book. I mean, I found a lot of different beasts, and some of them you find in this book, some not. Does anyone know what this one is?
You guys can unmute if you know the answer.
You want to unmute, you can tell me what this one is.
Mandrake.
It's not a mandrake, although it looks very much like
It's a bow truckle. Bow truckle.
Bow truckle. That's right. I didn't know what they're good for.
I don't
No.
know. Getting into small spaces.
Very good. Yes, I use them when I lock myself out of my my house, which happens quite frequently, because I have lots of keys, and they're hard to keep track of. So I keep this one in my pocket with me, and his name's Flip It. I keep it and he unlocks doors for me, so it's very good to have around. Also, another good one to have is this fella. Does anyone know what this one is? Virgins, you know what they are?
Is that a niffler?
Yes, it's a niffler. And you know what they're good for?
No.
Stealing
Nothing, because they
money.
steal things from me all the
Stealing money,
time. This
stealing
fella,
gold.
that's right. I believe if I look down in his pocket, he has a coin that he stole from me. So this little fella, I gotta keep an eye on him. It's hard to do with the hair. Now, some of you talked about having pets with you when you go to your school. Did any of you have one of these fellas? You know what this is?
Rat.
That's right, a rat. Some people will take a rat to school with them. Some people will take a snake, a cat, an owl. This fella, this is the one that I have here with me right now.
Does the rat do anything?
It chews on wires a lot. And this one is very important to take with you wherever you go. Does anyone know what this is?
It's an owl.
That's right, George. It's an owl. You are very much a wizard. This one I use to send out different types of mailings to people. Much better than the postal service, in my opinion. But yes, I attach it to him, and he carries it off, and then a day later he comes back with a response. It should be quicker, but I think he has other things to do. But Natalie, do you have any questions for me?
What's your favorite creature that you've dealt with?
Oh, there's so many. Probably my dog, Fang. He's a good one. Oh, and if you got the moment.
Good thing we've got a moment.
I was just thinking what a Hagrid thing to do.
Ah, what's that you have there?
This is a furry flurfkin. I don't know if you're familiar with these, but they're good for having around the house. They kill moths and other types of bugs, and oftentimes they just end up puking on your floor.
Sounds very magical.
And they
It looks
anger quite
angry.
easily.
just meowed at us. Well, thank you for sharing him with us.
It's been quite a pleasure to be with you.
Yes, thank you for being here. We appreciate your visit, and I hope things are going well at Hogwarts. You'll have to tell all the students there hello from the Heritage School.
I will indeed. Thank you very much.
So thanks for coming tonight. All right, I'm gonna go back to sharing my screen and see what we're doing next here. Oh, we're on to our answers. So if you guys are ready, we'll go to our answer portion of our trivia. So you guys can go ahead and unmute yourself now and shout out your answers if you've got them. So question 1, does anyone know what Ron's house was called?
The Burrow?
Yes, it was the Burrow.
Yeah.
That's that lovely cozy house that they had. Question 2, and was anyone able to name all 7 of the Weasley children?
I got 5.
5.
Fred, George, Jenny, Percy, and Ron.
All right, so we've got the older brothers, Charlie and Bill then. So let's see, which one was it that worked with the dragons?
Charlie.
Was that Charlie? Okay. And then Bill was the one that was Is he the one who married Fleur?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we've got this lovely family photo of all of them there visiting Egypt. Scabbers included.
Jenny, Ron.
All right, let's see. Question 3. Who was not one of the marauders?
Lupin. No. Lily Potter.
Lily Evans at the time, yeah. She would have
Well,
been a great, she would have probably would have been a good marauder, but I think the marauders were a little bit of troublemakers. But there she is, young Lily, and then Lily Potter with James. Question 4. What kind of dragon does Harry fight at the Triwizard Cup?
Hungarian Horntail.
Yes. I think any of those sound like they would, yeah, you wouldn't want to face any kind of dragon, I don't think. But there he is. Luckily, he got his broomstick, which is probably the best way to handle that. Stay ahead of him. Question 5. How does Hagrid describe his job at Hogwarts?
Keeper of the keys and grounds. What?
Is the
Keeper of the keys and grounds.
Yes, although our Hagrid doesn't seem to be great at keeping all of his keys. But thank goodness for those. Oops, I'm trying to. Yeah, thank goodness for those. I don't know if that popped up on. So he is the keeper of the keys and the grounds. Question 6. What house was Cedric Diggory from?
Slytherin.
Hufflepuff.
No.
Yeah, Hufflepuff.
Yeah, he was a Hufflepuff. There he is in his black and gold. Poor Cedric. Question 7. Did anyone know the last 3 words of Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows?
All was well.
Yes. All was well.
Where's your pencil?
All right. Question 8. What day were the Weasley twins born on?
April 1st.
Yes. April Fool's Day, which is very fitting for those goofy guys. Question 9. Who tells Harry he's a wizard?
Hagrid.
Hagrid. Elliot said Dumbledore.
I mean, technically,
but like,
I mean,
still
he left it
Hagrid.
in a letter, but you know, Harry never saw that. So yes, no, it was Hagrid that finally got a hold of him. And I think we've lost. Can anyone do a good? You're a wizard, Harry.
You're a wizard, Harry.
There we go. And what was Harry's wand made of?
Holly's
feather.
Yeah, that phoenix feather core. That was a pretty big plot point. Because who did he share the phoenix feather with? Who else had the same core?
Voldemort.
And they. Do you guys know who the phoenix feather came from?
Fawkes, Dumbledore's
Fawkes.
Phoenix.
Yeah. So it was even from the same phoenix. There he is. When the wand chose him at Ollivanders. I know Paige had that experience of the wand choosing her at Ollivanders. It was very exciting. It's a neat experience when your wand chooses you. So speaking of wands, we've got a slide here that has a little bit for spell practice, things that you can know and the wand motions that go with them. One of the things that we did at the second year of our Heritage School open house was we had a dueling club where people could have wands and they could do the spells that we had. So we've got some Expelliarmus up there. So if you guys got your wands, you can do the Expelliarmus is a quick point and down motion to disarm people. I think that seems to be, I think Harry found that was probably the most useful spell to have to disarm anyone. There's a couple on there that you should not say. They're part of those the unforgivable curses. But luckily we don't give you the motions for those on the other side there for any of those unforgivable curses. But we've got some ones that can be neat to Tarantula Allegra, kind of a W that you make, and you can make people dance like spider legs. Osteo is one that I wish that you could do so that you don't have to get up to get things that you've forgotten to bring with you. Wish I could just summon things to come to me. That's like probably my most wished spell that existed, or that I could do well, actually. So, but yeah, that's to me the most useful one. How about you guys? What's your favorite spell on here that or one that you wish that you could do all the time?
Definitely Accio.
Definitely. I think Aloha Mora would be kind of helpful just to open doors, especially if your hands are full.
Wand lightning.
Wand lightning. That'd be pretty neat. Agua Menti, if you just need a glass of water, or just take your wand and get some water. That would be pretty useful. Nox to turn off lights, especially across the room. And Lumos to turn them on. Although if anyone has an Alexa, we kind of do have a bit of magic that we can do that from across the room. Although you don't say Lumos. Although I wonder if you could rename your Alexa Lumos or Nox and turn her off that way. That's an idea there. You got with those. Arresto Momentum, a little M made with your wand if you want to stop somebody who's in place. This would be all very useful. So that was something that when 1 year Dumbledore led the wand class to help lead people through these wand motions. So that was very useful practice. We've got that so that if you guys brush up on your spell work, and if you do need to brush up on your spell work, this is the slide where we say that if any of my prefect co-hosts could be jotting down the names of the people who are in our participant list right now. Attendees tonight will be entered to win the spell book here, the unofficial Harry Potter spell book, and we will announce the winner at the end. So if we've got a bit of time, if someone on my co-host prefect list can jot down the names, we can pull that at the end, and we'll let you know, and we'll contact you, let you know how to get a hold of your spell book. We're going to move on to our second round of trivia questions here. So we're continuing on past question 10 to question 11. How old was Nicholas Flamel, the holder of the Sorcerer's Stone? So if you know the Sorcerer's Stone, let him live a very long time. Was he A, 394 years, B, 278, C, 918, or D, 665? Question 12. What does SPEW stand for? SPEW, which is a very lovely acronym for a club or organization. You know what those letters stood for?
We had leave.
Okay. Question 13. What is Hermione's Patronus? Is it a swan? B, an otter? C, a cat? Or D, a unicorn? All right. Question 14. What do Hermione's parents do for a living? Are they lawyers? A. B, doctor? C, teachers? Or D, dentist? We're on question 15. How many points is a golden snitch worth? I seem to remember that Megan was a seeker, so I hope she knows this one. Is it A, 250, B, 75, C, 150, or D, 200 points? All right, question 16, another Quidditch question. Who was the commentator for Quidditch matches? Was it A, Lee Jordan, B, Seamus Finnegan, C, Neville Longbottom, or D, Lavender Brown? Question 17. What animal was visible only to those who had witnessed death? Is it A, a basilisk, B, a threstrel, C, a hippogriff, or D, a bowtruckle? Question 18. What was the name of the Gryffindor ghost? This is a great picture of the Great Hall at Hogwarts. It looked very much like our Great Hall here at the Heritage School. Just as magical. Question 19. Who guarded the Gryffindor common room? And we could accept more than one answer for this if you have more than one. Question 20. Who pretended to be Mad-Eye Moody in the Goblet of Fire? All right. That's our last trivia question. We'll go on to the answers in a little bit, but first we have another game for you. Has anyone ever played Categories before? Are you familiar with how to play that game? So the way it works is that we have categories up on the screen, and you will get a letter that will be the letter that you use for everything here. So we'll give an example of like, say if the letter was Q for everything on the list, which that would be a very difficult letter to do, but if you know, a character name that starts with Q, if anyone can think of one. Can anyone think of a character whose name starts with Q?
Well,
We've got Professor Quirrell that we could use. So that's an example. So you would have to go down the whole list to come up with words that start with Q. But luckily, I don't think that our letter will be Q. The way we'll do this is that you've got them up on the screen here. We'll give everybody a minute to get another piece of paper, or if you write on the back of your trivia page, or get another piece. We'll give you a second to get some paper. But we're going to give you 4 minutes to go down this list and come up with something that starts with the same letter for every line. So you'll be using the same letter all the way down, just so we're clear on it. And whatever letter that we end up coming up with will be used there. And you can write your answers on your blank sheet of paper there. So I'm gonna get my timer ready here to give us 4 minutes.
Can you
And
repeat any words?
ideally you would not repeat the words down the line. You'd be able to come up with something else. But then we're going to go through and we're going to see what other people came up with. So everybody will get a chance to share what things they thought of that start with this. And Professor Trelawney and Dumbledore had to leave us early to get back to some work that they had at Hogwarts. But I had asked Professor Trelawney to peer into her crystal ball to help to come up with a letter for us. And she sent me a message via Owl a few moments ago to let me know what letter had been chosen. So I'll get my timer ready for a 4-minute timer, and I'll let you know the letter. So get your and you've got your things up there. So for your first one will be a character name that starts with this letter, then a spell that starts with this letter. You guys can talk amongst yourselves if you like, with the people that you're with, if you want to come up with some things there. Again, this is just for fun. We'll see what people come up with. There's lots of things in the wizarding world that anyone could think of. So I'm gonna hit the timer in just a moment. But first I'll let you know that your letter that you're going to be working with is the letter S. So if you want to write that at the top of your blank page so that you know what you're working with. And then I'm going to go ahead and hit start, and we'll have 4 minutes.
Was that letter S or F?
Sorry, it was S as in Sam. All right, 2-minute warning. We've got 2 minutes. We've got 1 minute. All right, got 10 seconds left. All right. Okay, I'm gonna stop sharing. And we'll go down the list here. And you guys can shout out what you came up with for each thing. If you came up with anything. If you didn't come up with anything, that's fine. We'll see what other people came up with. One of our favorite games to play on car rides is the alphabet game. And we will play the alphabet game to name Harry Potter characters for every single letter of the alphabet. So we know we can do that one pretty well. So how about for our S character? Who did anyone come up with? Go ahead and share it. Severus Snape. He's got a double S. That's a good one.
Seamus Finnegan.
Seamus Finnegan. That's a good one. Slytherin. Salazar. So he's also a double S. That's a good one.
Sybil.
Sybil Terlani. Yeah. That's a good. Oh, Slughorn. Yeah.
Professor Sprout.
Sprout. Yeah. There's lots of S characters. All right. How about for spells? What spells that start with S?
Silencio.
Silencio. That is the. Oh, actually, I wish that was one we could do.
Stupefy.
Push and flick. That's a good.
I don't know.
Stupefy. That would be one.
Sextum Sempra.
Sectum Sepra. You don't want to do that one on somebody. That's not a. That's a dangerous one.
Sonorous.
See, there's lots of good S ones there. All right, let's see. How about for something found at Hogwarts? And this you could go any direction you wanted.
Stairs.
Stairs.
Spoon.
Spoon. Yes.
Deligro.
Skelegro. That's a good one.
The Quidditch stand.
Yeah.
The Quidditch stands.
Snitch.
Stands. The snitch. Yeah. There's lots of. That's a very broad one. You can come up with lots of things. How about this? Any magical creatures you guys think of that started with S?
Snow owl.
Scabbers. Snow owl.
Snake.
A snake.
Snake.
A scroot. Someone said a scroot. Blast-ended scroot.
Salamander.
A salamander. All right. How about something found in the dungeons?
Snake.
Snape.
Webs.
Spider webs. Slytherins, because yeah, that's where their common room was. I imagine skeletons are probably in the dungeons.
Sirius Black.
Sirius Black, yeah.
Shackles?
Yeah, shackles. I feel like it was probably kind of maybe slimy in the dungeons. Some slime. How about a school subject that starts with S?
Science.
Do they have?
Well, it didn't say it had to be from Hogwarts.
Right, it did.
It's a school
You're
subject.
right. How about a magical schools?
Spells.
Just general spell work, I guess. Yeah. That might be charms, I think, would be the general spell
Yeah,
one.
that's what I.
Let's see. What's an S one? I don't know if I can think of an S one.
Supplies.
Supplies. How about stargazing? What did they call that? What was the word for that?
Astrology.
Astronomy.
Yeah. All right, let's move on. How about something students have to buy?
School books.
Spell book.
Spell books.
Yeah.
Spell
books.
Books.
School robes.
Yeah.
Lots of scrolls for writing things on. And let's see, something found in Diagon Alley.
Scissors.
Doors.
Doors. The swarming
Doors.
dragons.
Seamstress?
Seamstress? Oh yeah, because they had to get your robes taken in. Yeah. What was the name of
The
the
swarming dragons.
what was the name of the store that like Draco and his family went to? I can't think of what did that start with an S? Anyone think of that store name?
Morgan and Burke's.
Morgan, I was a B. Morgan and Burke's. Yeah. Okay. All right. How about a Quidditch term that starts with S?
Or
Snitch.
Sure.
Seeker.
I don't know where this came from, but sweep.
Sweep. Well, you could sweep a whole game. Well, they're using brooms. I mean,
or
I think sweeper is that isn't that that's a soccer term. How about something found in Hogsmeade?
Sugar. Lots of sugar.
Sugar. What was the name of the candy shop in Hogsmeade? Was that Zombie? No.
Honeydukes.
Honeydukes.
Yeah. Honey.
The Shriek Shack.
The Shriek Shack was in
Signs of
Hogsmeade.
Butterfield.
That's right. All right. Okay. And this one, you could go any direction. A Birdie Bot's every flavored bean flavor.
Snake gut.
Stinky socks.
Spinach.
Stinky socks. Oh,
Yeah.
spinach.
Snake gut.
Slime.
No.
Yeah, spinach. That'd be a good bad flavor.
Yummy.
Sardines, maybe. Has anyone had Birdie Bot's every flavored beans and
I
actually
have.
tried the bad flavors? How bad are they?
Disgusting.
Not,
I got
not
stuck with the
too
worst
bad.
taste.
They're gross.
We had Birdie Bot's every flavored beans at our
The
candy table,
soap's the worst.
but we didn't really want to. We didn't want anyone to not come back, so we switched out the Birdie Bots for regular jelly beans. We were afraid we wouldn't have anyone ever want to come back
That's so
if they had a sardine flavored jelly bean. Well, there, we came up with some good ones. So yeah, just so you know, if you guys are ever on a long car ride, it's a good game to try and name it things that start with every letter from Harry Potter. Also works with Star Wars or trying to name cities in Ohio, or yeah, we do that a lot. We like the alphabet game on long car rides at our house. So let me. Switch back to my screen again. We can get to our answers for trivia. You guys still have your trivia there? We're on to question 11. So how old was Nicholas Flamel? You guys know?
65.
665, you say? He was 665. Could you imagine living that long? Have you guys seen this Fantastic Beasts, the second movie that has him in it? He's a pretty funny guy. Question 12. What does SPEW stand for?
Society for the Promotion of Elfish Welfare.
Yes, Society for the Promotion of Elfish Welfare. And there we've got Dobby there. And Hermione was looking out for those house elves. Question 13. What is Hermione's Patronus? You guys know what it was?
Cat.
I think it was otter. Yeah, it was otter.
It was an otter. There you go.
Oh man.
I think what's her name? Dolores Umbridge, her Patronus was a cat, which it's hard to believe that she could have produced a Patronus. What did Hermione's parents do for a living?
Dentist.
Dentist. And a boy bit her dad once. Very dangerous profession. How many points is a golden snitch worth?
150.
Worth 150.
Oh. Go Julius.
All right. And who was the commentator for the Quidditch matches?
Lee Jordan.
Lee Jordan. What animal was visible only to those who had witnessed death?
Thrustrel.
Restrals.
Yeah, Russell.
And what was the name of the Gryffindor ghost?
Nearly headless.
Nearly headless Nick.
How can you be nearly headless? Yeah, it was nearly headless Nick. All right. Question 19. Who guarded the Gryffindor common room?
The fat lady.
That lady, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So here she is. She's saying password. And who pretended to be Mad-Eye Moody in the Goblet of Fire?
Barty Crouch Jr.
Allie, you still there?
Yeah. Did I disappear? Can you guys hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. Barty Crouch Jr. That was who pretended to be Mad-Eye Moody. So thank you guys. How did you guys do?
Good.
Natalie?
Did any? I think maybe you guys can hear me, right? All right.
Yeah.
I think someone can just find Mary and mute her. All right, I'm going to stop share again, go back to our gallery view. All right, so who did anyone get them all? It was a tough one. Oh, Megan. Good job, Megan. We should play Harry Potter Trivial Pursuit sometime. Me and you.
I win every time, just to let you know.
I say no one ever wants to play against me because it's ridiculous, because I'm just like, I should not know this much stuff. So maybe you and I can play. But I'm glad to know that there's somebody out there that has a ridiculous amount of knowledge. So good job, everybody. I hope you enjoyed picking your brain, racking your brain for trying to remember things. I think I'm going to go back to sharing my screen one more time because we've got just a couple more things. But thank you to our prefect Sailor for putting together the trivia. But I wanted to share, can you guys see again? Have anyone done their pumpkins yet this year? Couple ideas here for you. This is the pumpkin that I did a couple of years ago, showing my Hogwarts pride. But I wanted to use this opportunity to say, if you guys have not carved your pumpkins yet, we are having a virtual pumpkin carving contest. If you guys would like to enter. I mean, if you pulled off a Hogwarts, or if you even did like a Heritage School of Wizardry pumpkin, we would count that as historical. But our theme is pumpkins in history this year. So we're asking you to do your carving at home, and if you do something, to share it with us. You can email clarkcountyhistory@gmail.com if you've got a history themed pumpkin that you would like to enter into our contest. We're going to have a Facebook album up starting on October 28th through the 31st to let people vote for their favorite history themed pumpkins. And the winners will get a 1-year family membership to the Historical Society, a copy of our Heartland exhibit book, and passes to our next in-person Harry Potter wizard themed event, which hopefully will be sometime next year. So we'll make sure that whoever does win that gets those passes. But if you need some historical inspiration for what to carve, one of our other prefects, Sydney, did these wonderful templates that may appear on some of our pumpkins. But if you guys want to try your hand at it, we have them uploaded to our Google Drive. The link is there, and we'll have this posted online later. But it's the Cutley link /pumpkins in history there that will take you to. You can carve the Heritage Center or the Heritage School of Wizardry. This is local early pioneer Simon Kenton. This is the Crable Homestead, which is an 1820s house that stands now above the reservoir in town. And one that I really love is our mastodon there, because there was several mastodons that were found in Clark County. So we've got a history themed thing there. So if you guys think of anything else, carve George Washington or anything else history themed that you can think of. So if you happen to still be working on your pumpkins and carve something and want to send it to us, you can email and enter our contest. And then I just wanted to mention that next week we have a virtual program about a magician, an actual magician who lived here in town. Herman the magician was from Springfield, and he was a beloved local magician who would do all sorts of school shows and parties and things for decades. And he was also a police officer. And at the end of next week, they're renaming a portion of West McCrite Street after him. Will be Herman Carr Way. So we are doing a exhibit that opens on the 28th with a virtual program and preview of Herman's life and work. And then the exhibit will be open in person to the public starting on the 28th. So that is real life magic that people, not, this isn't real life magic, but this is illusion magic, a different kind, that we'll be highlighting. We've got lots of his stuff from his tricks and things that his family is loaning for the exhibit. So we're very excited to do that because it's another form of wonderful magic that we'll have. And then I have just, if you want to follow any of our other pages, we have an Instagram, a Twitter, a Facebook page, and then a donation page where you can make donations if you like and follow more things about local history. We'll share anything that we have coming up about upcoming virtual events. But I want to thank you guys all for joining. We hope that we'll be able to bring visitors back into the Heritage School of Wizardry in person. In the near future. We'll keep you updated. We're hoping that we might be able to do it at a different time of year, not necessarily wait till next October. So we'll keep an eye on things and see when we have a good opportunity. But I love this picture. I think this is from our first year, showing everybody gathered in the Great Hall, which we had everybody together, and that was a lot of fun. So stop sharing again, bring you guys back. But I want to thank you guys for joining tonight and playing along with the trivia and the games and everything. And I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you keep loving this wizard world because it's a lot of fun. There's a new movie coming out again next year about young Dumbledore, so they'll always be giving us more of this magical world to love and learn more about. So we'll keep this going. And before we go, I wanted to announce our winner is of the magical spell book is Jennifer. So congratulations, Jennifer. You can brush up on your spell work, and I hope you come visit us and join the dueling club next year. So thank you all.
I don't know.
For joining.
Thank you.
Right. Hope you guys have a magical evening. Thanks all for coming. Have a great night.